I'm sorry if I suck at writing. I'm new to sharing ghost stories, and I don't think I'm a good writer. But shadows. Ever since I was little, I believed in the paranormal, and every once in a while, I would have an encounter. My house isn't new, about 50 years old to be exact, and I've lived here almost my entire life, and to our knowledge, no one has died here. I think one of the occurrences I kept on having when I was little was waking up in the middle of the night and running into my mom's room and eventually going to sleep in her bed. I've never had sleep paralysis, and I could move every time, but when I looked towards the doorway, on the frame would be a tall, thin figure. When I looked away and back, it would get closer and then retreat. I've tried to debunk this in the daytime, and it wasn't there. I thought maybe it was just the darkness, but I don't know how it looked so human-like. I think it could be debunked. My parents just don't really like hearing about the scary stuff. It freaks them out, and especially because this took place in their room multiple times, I think they just don't want to hear it. And then dolls. At 13, I was a very paranoid person, and one night I woke up around 2, I want to say, still delirious. I could hear a woman's voice talking to me. She had a soothing presence and was calming me back to sleep. She whispered, "Are you there, or are you awake?" I drowsily responded with yes. And then, I felt a wave of warmth and soft comfort wash over me, and slept soundly the rest of the night with no nightmares. Nothing scary, just peace. It was kind of odd, but also kind of nice to hear. It's funny how my brain didn't register that it was a spirit. Usually I get crazy scared and excited for this stuff. A month before the incident, I went to Goodwill and got a Victorian-looking doll, which I bought on an impulse, hoping it had a spirit. My friends dubbed her the name Pink Lady, hence her very pink long dress. Everything was alright, but at night, I always felt like she was looking directly at me, no matter where I stood in the room. I could feel a sense of her hatred for me. She hated the music I would put on, and she would definitely make me feel it, with paranoia, etc. But one day, funnily enough, this old jazz 40s, or at least 50s song turns on, and I no longer felt watched. She stopped looking at me, and I could finally look at her and hold her without being creeped out. She even seemed like a friend. She got upset when I was crying and hated to see people hurt me. Recently, she's not been so active. Maybe because I'm not scared anymore, or she dislikes when she's in my room. She's always expressed to me that she loved sitting on my dresser. During the summer, I got a pendulum, and when I used it to talk to, hopefully, the other spirits because of the many occurrences, first the Pink Lady came on and then someone else. Whenever I would use it after that day, the second person would always come in and pretend to be her. She was always so excited to talk to me, but this person was dull and felt sad. I've tried to get their name, or at least gender. I asked, "Are you a man?" No. "Are you a girl?" No. I've tried to go through the entire alphabet to at least get a first name, but they won't answer. "Does your name start with A?" No. "Skip to E. Does your name start with an E?" No answer. I asked where they like to reside. "Are you mainly in my room?" No. "What about the bathroom?" No answer, but seemingly a slight yes. My friend has spirits in his house, and there's an evil presence that blocks everyone else from talking on his spirit box. Maybe this is the same scenario. Maybe there's someone bad in the house blocking her from speaking. I'm not sure. I'll take any advice. The OP made a second post for an update. I decided to use the pendulum after a few months. It was tricky to see what they said, but from what I got, here's the conversation. Am I talking to the pink lady? No. Can I talk to her? No. Are you a man? Yes. Are you new? No. Have you been here a long time? No. Did you follow me? Then there was a slight movement to yes. Did you follow me from a friend's house? Yes. Are you an adult? Huge swing towards no. Are you a kid like me? No. Are you an elder? No. Are you even human? No answer, but a slight no. Are you evil? No. Are you good? No. Then I started to ask where he liked to reside. Do you like being in my sister's room? Are you mainly there? No. My parents' offices? No. My room? No. The kitchen? Slight yes. The family room? Our kitchen is in the same room as the family room. Yes. Can you move on? Yes. But do you want to move on? No. Did you follow me from a year ago? Slight yes. Of course, I thanked him for his time and said goodbye. Recently, I've been feeling extremely sad at nighttime, and I think that could be him. I'm guessing since a lot of bad spirits feed off of negativity, maybe he's giving that to me. I've never felt this way at night before, and it started after I talked to him for the first time. I'm not sure if he's a liar trying to trick me to make me scared, and I get the feeling he is a trickster because of the awful dreams I get each night. Weird, vivid, scary dreams. I'm a bit scared that there's an entity attached to me. I recently got incense, and I burn it a lot for my deities, and those are the nights that I don't get sad. I'm a Wiccan/pagan, and I think I might need to make some sort of protection spell. I'm very unsure of what to do next. Sage might help, along with smudging my house. And this is all for the update. Thank you to everyone who's been reading. I don't know how this timeline adds up, since the last time he said he wasn't a man or a woman, and when I got the letter J this time, it went still, and every other letter was a strong no. Last time he hinted at E? 2 spirits, maybe? Or a trickster? I would like to know. I've lived in my apartment for almost a year, and I've had several experiences so far, with one being a freaking constant annoyance. The very first day, I was standing in my kitchen, putting a few things in the cabinet. I see a hand slide around the corner of the wall towards me, out of the corner of my eye. I was about 10 inches from the corner, and when I looked over, it was gone. I told it that I'm not doing this, and to leave me alone. Randomly, my dog will look at the ceiling above me when I'm sitting on the couch, tilt his head, and whine until he jumps and runs away or barks all crazy until I make him stop. The tapestry behind my couch will move randomly. I debunked it as not being the vent because of how far away it is in the direction it blows. I put it on that wall specifically so I wouldn't have to stick it down at the bottom. The shadow people are back, and normally telling them to go away will get me a few days or weeks of peace. They don't leave anymore. I'm losing sleep these days because I end up waking up in the middle of the night, and multiple times a night, to one standing by my bedroom door or by the bathroom. I was leaving the apartment once to walk my dog, and I turned around to close the door, and lock it. My bedroom is a straight shot from the door, and what I saw still brings tears to my eyes when I think about it. It was in the bedroom doorway, crouched down on all fours. It was dark, like a brown or tan, but it had this darkness to it even though I had the blinds open to let the sun shine in. It didn't look at me. It just started crawling toward me fast. I panicked and slammed the door closed when it got about halfway to the door. Luckily, I have not seen it again, but I also refuse to look inside when I close the door. I just trust that I've turned my lights off. Now, for the annoyance, I know that it's screwing with me. This is why I'm posting, because I'm just irritated. Something is in my closet. The door shakes constantly, and my dog and I have both heard scratching on the door, coming from the inside. I have checked for holes for mice, and there's nothing. I've sent the dog in because he's good at finding mice in their nests. He doesn't alert either. The closet light gets turned on. I can sometimes hear the switch, which is on the outside in my bedroom, click on when I'm in the living room or the bathroom. I'll come into the bedroom and, sure enough, the light is on. I got mad tonight. I thought maybe I was just seeing things, or things were just happening. I grabbed a shirt out of my closet, closed the door, and turned off the light. I looked at that damn switch as I turned the light off. I go for a smoke and come back to pee, and the goddamn light is on. I yelled. I cussed. I told it to stop that because it doesn't pay the damn light bill, and it was just seriously annoying the hell out of me. Honestly, I'm not even scared. I feel disrespected. I'm the only one paying the bills, and whatever the hell decides the light needs to be on, and no. Hell no. Even as I'm typing this in the bathroom, I think I just heard the light switch turn on again. Damn it. In July of 2017, I bought an old World War I makeshift trench knife from a vendor at the Pasadena flea market. It looked as though someone had just ripped off a chair leg and stuck a metal spike in it. The night I brought it home, I started having nightmares. They were constant. Each nightmare would be different, but one thing they all had in common was that there was always a tall, slim, black figure in them. A few months later, I had my house saged and the activity subsided for a few months. Around March of 2018, the activity started again, with nightmares and constantly having the feeling of being watched. While our house has always been haunted, what with the original owner being very attached to the house, and also late relatives visiting every now and then, this was the only entity that seemed malicious. My sister was also affected by this in the same way that I was having nightmares. She said that she would have a dream of a creature crawling around in her ceiling and then pouncing on her. In April of 2018, my family went on a camping trip and took the dogs with them, and I was all alone, due to not being able to get the time off, and the activity was rampant. I would hear footsteps pacing and running around upstairs, stuff being dragged around, but when I would look upstairs, no one was there, and there wasn't anything out of place. On the final night of my family being gone, I was in my room and went out to use the bathroom at around 2 a.m. I looked down the hallway at my parents' room, and standing outside of their room was that same black figure that I had been seeing in my dreams. It was about 7 foot tall, and it was the blackest black that I've ever seen. My parents' room was pitch black, and it still stood out. The hallway smelled of rotten eggs. It was the most terrifying thing I had ever seen. When my parents came back, I told my mom what happened, and I broke down crying. She told me the next morning that she went to the bathroom at one point that night and felt something charge at her. We saged the house the next day and destroyed the knife so that it couldn't be used for its original purpose. We have a small workshop in our garage that's right below my room upstairs. We put the knife in the vice grip and started bending the blade. As we were doing so, we could hear loud noises as if someone was slamming the walls and stomping on the floor. We destroyed the knife and buried it in a box blessed with holy water far away. A few days later, my sister told me that when she went in my room, she could feel a dark energy in my room, like it wanted her to leave. Seeing that figure still reigns as the most terrifying moment of my life. When I, 27 female, was about 4, my parents and I went to my grandmother's house, my mom's mom, which was haunted. There was a room upstairs that would always be ice cold. Like, in the middle of summer, there would be no air conditioners or fans in the entire house, and that room would be freezing. Anyways, we get there, and my uncles, who were 6 and 3, say let's go outside and play. So I took my shoes off, but before I run out, my mom tells me to put my shoes back on, and being a kid, I didn't listen. So we ran to the swing set, and I jumped on the slide while my uncles ran to a corner of the yard. I was about to slide down when out of the corner of my eye, I saw a tall shadow next to me. Then, I felt large hands on my arm that pushed me off. I landed with my head near the end of the slide, and my feet were near the ladder. I was still disoriented when I sat up, but when I stood, I noticed that I had a patch of dead grass stuck to my foot. I shook my foot as hard as I could, and the grass would not come off. I bent down and wiped it off. There was a gash across the top of my right foot. I told my parents, went to the hospital, and got around 8 stitches. My uncle found a huge chunk of broken glass right next to the slide. Everyone thought the slide leg maybe just buckled. I was not a small child, but if the leg had just buckled, then I would have gone over the edge with my head near the ladder, rather than my feet. A couple of months ago, I was talking to my grandma about what happened, and she laughed and said, "Oh, then it was probably Uncle Charlie." I'm like, what? Well, can you guess which room Uncle Charlie died in? If you guessed the ice-cold room, well, you're a winner. Then, a couple of months after that, I was going upstairs and had my legs knocked out from under me and slid down the stairs on my belly, scraping my front side. Also, I do see that he was teaching me to listen to my parents, and the irony is not lost. The scar from that day has crept up to my ankle from the middle of my foot. Just as an edit, I asked my grandma if he was related, and she walked away. So I'm not really sure if he was actually a family member, or if he was just the previous owner and they called him Uncle. So that, my friends, was a collection of 5 paranormal stories. These paranormal stories are always interesting to me. It's kind of where my channel started off. So I always love reading them, and I love, whenever you guys listen to them, and if you enjoy them, perfect. If not, well, I'm sorry. In that case, and that said, I hope you did enjoy this collection, and if you did, please do let me know what you thought. Let me know which story was your favorite. Let me know which one you liked the most, which one you disliked, what your thoughts are on all these. If you have any answers for some of these people, let them know what you think, what your response is. And if you really want to let me know how much you love my channel, you can hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. Then follow me on the social media platforms. Support the channel over coffee, Patreon, or memberships, your choice. All of it optional. Every single bit of it is appreciated. All that said, I love you all, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope you have a great weekend, as that's coming up very soon. You know how it goes. I'll have another video tomorrow, most likely, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, nothing. But, anyway, it is what it is. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope I'll see you in the next video, but until then, sleep well.